So just wanted to give a little context to the beginning of this video. I was able to sneak away from the family events over the holiday weekend to go lay eyes on and set up a new farm that we're going to be hunting this fall in Kansas. And so it's the first time I've got to see it. I've had to do everything by foot, so it's a little bit more challenging. Haven't made a YouTube video in a long time. And so just kind of last minute thought, and I put these clips together, throw something out there and see if anybody likes it. So appreciate the time. Let me know what you think. July 4th, we're in Kansas, 8 hours from home. Got a tag here for this unit this fall. And so picked up this property to be able to hunt. So we're out here getting it set up and show you a few things along the way of what and why I'm setting these cameras where I am. So I'm out here walking this farm I've never been on. It really pinches down right here. It's hard this time of year when it's green. But you can see here last year where the dead limbs are, where they chewed on it and or broke it off. So even though you can't really tell it's a scrape, you know it was one last year. So this is a spot that I'm considering hanging a camera. Just not sure whether it's going to be a cell camera or regular camera. All right, so I'm back and I'll show you. I opted for a cell camera here. The reason I chose to put it here is I've got a creek crossing coming up from some bedding over here to this field. The other scrape is down here behind me, which I opted to put it underneath this tree and then set up that scrape limb because underneath this oak we'll get less sun. Those weeds and that grass is going to stay shorter, and since I'm 8 hours from home, less likely to have false triggers. So I put it a little higher than I normally would, but that's what we're going to roll with. Next camera setup, we're going with a regular cell camera. I went with one of my medium grade video cameras, which in this case is a Browning. And so right here, we've got a pinch. The creek will actually Y come down. You got a trail coming down there, trail coming down there. What I'm actually set up on is this one. So I'm missing some of this, but the lack of trees, the risk of getting my camera flooded out. So that's why, with it not being just a 100% slam dunk spot, I chose for a regular camera. But we're gonna let them soak, and you know, over here with the video mode on the better quality camera, just a chance to get something cool crossing this creek. Next camera, cell cam, right here. Creek pinches down from the field. Everything funnels right into here, as well as a creek crossing. So with a cell cam, battery box, 12 volt, last hopefully a long time. So you got the deer that not only follow the creek, but cross the creek. And this is not far from my other one, but maybe you can see topography wise and crossing wise why I chose this spot. So here's the next spot. Property line, fences on both sides. This is wheat that might be double cropped if they can get it out. It already is July 4th, it ain't been cut. I'm gonna hang another camera right there just to cover what's in the field. But in case, that's gonna be a non-cell, but just in case that grass gets too tall and you know, it triggers a bunch. What I'm missing out there are the deer that are going around this. But there's a heavy trail coming through here where they're cutting this corner. And so right there is where I've gone ahead and set up a cell cam. Went ahead and hit this with a little glide and cut it down decent so it won't hopefully grow back too bad. And you know, whether they're bedding in here or cutting this corner, I'd like to find a scrape or set up a mock scrape in here as well, or maybe at least on the edge. But that makes camera number 6 for the day. So this is one of my cheap cameras. This is just an edge. This covers what I couldn't cover over there. Obviously it's windy. This grass is probably going to get taller, so it very well may be a wash. But I've got it on 1 picture per 15 seconds, so hopefully this doesn't set it off too much. Catch any deer that are just cruising this edge until they cut this later on this year. So here's my last camera for the day, probably. What we've got out here is Destination Ag. Creeks down there, this little opening. They're traveling up and down and then out. So what I've done is angle that camera to catch both. And then here's the trail where they're coming out. What I did was cut that limb and throw some more on this side So they couldn't go around that side of the tree. That way they had to come right through here, which should put in front of the camera. All right, and for what is probably my final camera for the day, I might come up with one more, but back to the creek right here, following it on this side. They're crossing it right there, and we've got this down cedar, which forces them around the end of this. So as they come up, as they go around, I've got them pinched right there. I was going to put a cell, but I grabbed the wrong one from the truck, so regular camera it is. Final camera of the day. I felt like I just wanted to get at least one more cell cam up. So over here close to the barn, the landowner actually mows this. So I talked to them, they let me do that here. This is wheat, so once this gets cut, this will be kind of an inside corner. If they go back with beans, I assume this would be a good spot, and I don't have to worry about too many false triggers here. Well, that's it for the day. New farm in Kansas. I think we got around 10 cameras up. 400 acres, give or take. Never cover it all. But for July, I happened to be in the area, kind of. Was able to get this done. Hopefully, some of those things that I was able to talk about was of at least some help if you're trying to get something new set up.